All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to Promotech. Thanks for tuning in. The Google Pixel 11 Pro camera might look familiar on the outside, but behind that iconic camera bar, Google appears to be quietly preparing one of the biggest photography shifts Pixel has made in years. Subtle sensor tuning, deeper on-device AI, and a completely reworked zoom pipeline could change how Pixel photos and videos look long after launch day. Let's dive right into the video, because the real story here isn't megapixels. It's how Google is redesigning the way the phone processes images. First, the telephoto system looks like it's getting a serious evolution. Pixels have always relied more on computational photography than raw optics, but with the Google Pixel 11 Pro, leaks suggest Google is pushing hybrid zoom toward the 100 times range again. Only this time the pipeline behind it may be dramatically smarter. On previous devices like the Google Pixel 10 Pro, super residential zoom stacked multiple frames to reconstruct detail. It worked well, but you could still see artifacts at extreme ranges. With the new imaging pipeline tied closely to Google Tensor G6, the phone can merge more frames faster and rebuild texture using AI models trained specifically on telephoto data. The result isn't just more zoom, it's zoom that actually holds onto detail instead of turning into digital mush. But here's the interesting twist. Google may not be chasing larger sensors this year the way competitors like the Honor Magic 8 Pro or OnePlus 15 are doing. Instead, it looks like the focus is on dynamic range and color science. Pixel cameras have always been known for getting skin tones right, and the Google Pixel 11 Pro seems to be doubling down on that reputation. Early information suggests a new HDR stacking method that captures multiple exposure layers even faster than before. Side by side with older Pixels, that could mean brighter highlights without blowing out the sky, deeper shadows without crushing detail, and photos that look natural instead of overly processed. Video is where things could get even more interesting. Pixels have historically been excellent for photos, but slightly behind competitors in video consistency. That's where Google Tensor G6 comes back into the story. More on-device processing power means features that previously required cloud processing can now happen instantly. Night sight video, for example, could finally run fully on the device. That means you pull the phone out at night, hit record, and the phone stabilizes, brightens, and processes the footage in real time. No waiting, no uploading clips to Google servers. Another rumored change is smarter video relighting. Instead of adjusting brightness after recording, the Google Pixel 11 Pro may be able to simulate directional lighting across frames using AI depth mapping. In practice, that means a dim indoor clip could be transformed to look like it was lit with proper studio lights. For creators, vloggers, or anyone shooting casual content, that's a massive shift. Quick pause for a second because this actually ties into how people manage all that content after shooting it. A lot of creators are constantly moving photos and video clips between devices, and tools like Walverse have been useful for keeping that workflow organized without constantly juggling cables or cloud uploads. It's one of those quiet productivity upgrades that makes dealing with large camera files way less frustrating. Back to the camera story, because there's one more subtle change that could matter even more than zoom or video. The Google Pixel 11 Pro appears to be pushing deeper AI-assisted editing directly inside the camera system. Features like voice-driven photo edits, object reshaping, and scene reconstruction may happen instantly after the photo is captured. Instead of opening editing apps, the Pixel camera itself becomes the editing tool. And when you combine that with the traditional Pixel strengths, natural colors, incredible HDR, and reliable portrait processing, the camera on the Google Pixel 11 Pro starts to feel less like a traditional smartphone camera and more like a computational photography platform that just happens to live inside a phone. Quick moment for the community here. More than 70% of people watching these videos aren't actually subscribed. If you enjoy these deeper breakdowns where we analyze the strategy behind technology instead of just reading spec sheets, consider subscribing, because this channel is really about building a smart community that loves understanding how these devices actually evolve. Because when you step back and look at the bigger picture, the Google Pixel 11 Pro camera strategy isn't about winning spec wars. It's about quietly building a system where AI, sensors, and software work together so well that you stop thinking about the camera entirely and just trust it. And if Google really pulls that off this year, the conversation might stop being which phone has the best camera and start becoming something very different. Take care and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.